Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center, and today we're talking about the Viking Opal 650. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do stitch combinations and programming and how to save those stitch combinations. So to start out with, if we're going to program something, we push the programming button. Now at this point, I've already got something loaded, so I'm going to clear that, press and hold, say OK. Now that just means I've cleared what's in the programming. I've not cleared anything in the memory. Okay, so let's say we wanted to have, we wanted to spell out boy, okay? So we would go over here to lettering. Now the lettering has 3 different fonts. You've got your American font and European letters. You've got your Cyrillic or Russian letters, and you've got Japanese over here. And you can change those by just pushing the right arrow and saying OK on whichever one you want. Just keep pushing the right arrow or the left arrow. Okay, but that's the one we want, the block letters. Okay, so I'm pushing that. Now, I want to go into lettering, push this, there we go. It's going to give me the 3 options of capital letters, and I push this one down here, lowercase letters, push this one here, and numbers. Now each of those 3 categories has a little space at the end. That's like a bracket on the side, so you can have a first name and a last name or a little bit of space between some letters. So just push that again until you get to where you want it to be. Now if we're going to spell boy, I'm going to move my arrow over here, press OK, and the B shows up right there. Now I want lowercase for the rest of the word, so I push that there. Now I'm going to go over to O right there. So I press and hold, and it kind of steps its way over there to O. Press OK. Come on, there we go. Got it like that. Now I want to go down to Y here, so I'm just going to push my down arrow to get down into the lower level, push Y right there. Okay, so if we're ready to sew, push program again, and there we go. Oh boy, we got boy, 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 boy. So what if we just want one of those? Get back into programming. Now we're going to go down here, and see, we're out of the lettering, we're into where we can move our cursor over by using these arrows. Now, if I was still up in lettering and I moved the cursor, it would just go to a different letter. So make sure you use your up and down as well as your side-to-side arrows. So I'm going to go over here, and if I push it one more time, see how it gives that long beep? That means it can't move over any further. So what I'm going to push next is going to be after that Y. So I'm going to push this fixed stitch right there. Now the fixed stitch is going to give me a locking stitch, but then it's going to keep going again. I'm going to take that off of there. Whoops, clear, clear, clear. I'm going to push the stop instead. So what that's going to do is give me a locking stitch and stop. I'll show you. When I get out of programming, there you go. It's going to have boy and then a stopping stitch, and that's it. Now, what if I wanted to put a little star at the beginning, a little star at the end, get back into programming? There is the cursor right here, so I'm going to put a star right there, which is going to be in category number 4. So I'm going to go into categories, go down to number 4 here, push OK, and then number 33. And I have a star right there. Now, interestingly, these stitches, these decorative stitches, do not have a locking stitch at the beginning, because that would mean every time you have the beginning of a stitch, then you'd, have a locking stitch, and then it would go on another locking stitch. Well, you don't want that. You just want it a continuous line, unless you just wanted one of those stitches. So in that case, I'm going to move my cursor back and do that little fix stitch right there. That means it's going to give me a locking stitch at the beginning, and at the end, it's going to give me a locking stitch and stop. So that's what it's going to look like. And of course, the F and the S are not going to show up once you stitch it out. You just have a nice little star and boy, and there you go. Now, if I wanted to save that into the machine so that it remains there even if I turn off the machine, this is the button I push right here. Now, right now, I have all 4 of the spaces saved. So I'm going to go down to the one that says baby, and I'm going to push OK. It's going to say, do you want to overwrite? That means it's going to erase what's already in there and put the new thing in there that I want. And I'm going to say OK. And there I go. There it is. So to get back into regular stitching, just push that. You're out of this here. I'm going to do it the easy way. I'm going to push the type of fabric that I'm sewing and the straight stitch. That's all I want. Now, how do we retrieve that? Okay, this is the retrieve button, or the how to get into your category stitches button right there. So I'm going to go down, over, and OK. And then the one I want, whichever one I want, I would use my up and down arrows, and then I say OK, and there it is. Okay, so that's how you do a combination and how you save it. Now, what about editing a combination? There was another, not this one, but there was another one in there that I want to change. So if I want to change something that's in memory, you first need to push the programming button. Now, in this case, I'm going to get rid of what's there. I'm going to push clear and overwrite that, or delete that program. That's okay. Now everything's all clear. But now I'm into programming. Now I get into the saved stitches. Go over here, push OK. Come on, I pushed it too quickly. There we go. I want to go up to love right there. And that's the one that I want to edit. I want to change love into hope. Okay. So we're in programming. Make sure you have it in programming when you change that. Remember what I said. Push programming first, then load that stitch that you want. So I'm going to move my cursor over here, and I'm going to get rid of the V, clear, and I'm get rid of the L, clear. Now I want to put an H and a P in there. So I'm going to go to lettering, and remember the one that's highlighted here, it's the right after that is where your new letter is going to be. So that's what I want. Go over here to H, say OK, and then go into here. Whoops, this is the one I want. Yes. And then I'm going to go over to lowercase and move over. Yes, you can actually press and hold. As you press and hold, you can find the stitch that you want. Whoops. Oh, P and O. I've got those backwards. So I'm going to move my cursor down. See, this is really good because you can tell which letter you've got in the wrong place. And in this, you can, as long as you have your cursor in the right place, you can go to your letters, up, P, and I'm going to move this over. That's the O I want. Oh, but I got to move my cursor over. This is all really good, guys. We want it right before the H. Okay. So I'm going to go up here and OK. Now we have hope. OK. If I push program again, it would be ready to sew. But I don't have it memorized that way. I have love still memorized in the memory. But if I wanted to memorize this and put that in place of love, I would go to here, push OK. It'd say, are you sure you want to overwrite? Now that kind of stronger beep you hear, that's sort of a warning beep, so pay attention when you hear that. And I say, yes, I do want to overwrite that. And it overwrites it to hope. So that's how you can do programming and stitch combinations. As you can see, I've done other ones right here. I've used the mirror key for that little heart or that little flower to make it up or down. It works out really nicely that way. So I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you have, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave those in the area down below. So we have lots of other videos on this machine and on other machines here on our Montavilla YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.